90.1 WECS, something different. That was Bonnie Light Horseman with a brand new song off their new album. Oh, that was amazing. And of course, they're going to be at the Green River Festival later this summer, June 21st, 22nd, 23rd. So we'll talk more about that. But today I have a special guest. I would like to introduce you to a wonderful, wonderful artist. Lush and soulful, Heather McLarney aims to send audiences sailing into the rafters as she intertwines experiences in world travel, relationships, life, and dreams into her songs. Heather uses an indie folk pop style and a bit of twang, as she puts it. With her signature combination of sweet and catchy, but strong vocals, her voice blending innocence with experience. Her tunes thrill listeners with emotional crescendos that keep the room charged and buzzing. Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Say hello, Heather McLarney.
Hello.
Hi.
Happy to be here.
So happy to see you in person. We've chatted once before on the New Music Alliance Radio Hour.
Yeah. So we only talk on while we're on the radio. That's our thing.
Yeah. I don't want to see you.
Yeah. Otherwise, we don't speak to each other.
That was really cool, a special episode when you joined us on the New Music Alliance, and we got a chance to hear one of your songs and hear about your background and all the collaborations you've told us about, and some of the artists that you enjoy from the area as well. So that was a really wonderful episode.
Yeah, that was so great. Thanks for having me for that. It was so fun to look up, different local artists from Western New England and friends of mine and people I didn't even know about. And it was, a great experience. Really fun.
You see, now you got a taste of what it's like for us.
Yeah.
Because we do that every single week.
You know what? It took me a long time. I would say a good 5 to 10 hours to put that list together. So
and I think
really
you said
you
had to push yourself to find somebody from Vermont, I think, right?
I couldn't find anyone but it was also you also couldn't play anyone that was played in the last 6 months. There was a matrix of rules. But I think I hit it pretty good.
They don't see the rules. They just see all the fun. Yeah.
Right.
But wasn't it cool that, you introduced yourself to a new artist from Vermont, Lisa Schneckenberger,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
which is really cool. And that's why I really love about doing the New Music Alliance.
Absolutely.
And we get to meet new artists like Heather McLarney, who just released a new album on the 14th, May 14th. And the name is
There to Be Found.
There to Be Found.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I never thought I'd make one album, let alone two. So
I love Ghosts and Shadows, which came out in 22. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you want to just want to go right into one of the new songs?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
I'm sure we'll talk about, the album and Nashville and all that good stuff. I think the first one I'm going to play is, I had the song list in my mind before I came in. The order, not so much, but this is a nice little one to start with. This is actually my climate change anthem, I call it. I wrote it when I saw them cut down a tree in Bushnell Park.
Oh,
so I live in downtown Hartford. They were cutting down a tree, and
there's not a lot of trees in Bushnell Park.
Well, there's quite a few, but this one had was diseased, and they did a big study. Decided to cut it down for safety reasons. But it was part of the charter oak, the original charter oak.
Oh, it was one of the sprigs or whatever they did?
Scions, they call it, yeah. And I was watching them cut it down from my balcony, and I was thinking, how can we decide as humans to just cut down a tree? What gives us the right? How do we feel like we can make this decision for the tree? So yeah, it kind of spurred just talking about how humans are kind of not taking care of the planet very well. So I had this idea of Mother Nature kind of patiently waiting for us to leave.
I think that's a great way of looking at it. It's probably what's going to happen.
Probably. I'm a doomsday apocalypse person, so I'm ready for it. So this one's called Do For You.
Cool. Oh, I love this one.
try to set these mics up. This will be our sound check, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Today I watched them cut down an old oak tree, son of the charter oak and part of our history. Last year a bird made a home there for her family. I wonder when she comes back this year what she'll think. Oh, 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 oh. Ah, Mother, oh nature, I bet you can't wait for us to leave. Plastic in your blood, dust in your lungs, glaciers cry your tears. Ah, Mother, oh nature, will use you till you're black and blue. Ah, Mother, oh nature, what did we ever do for you? Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, nature, do you miss your winters? I know I like a cool, cool breeze. And now you're so sad to see us pushing buttons, doing nothing, farming your goods on our screens. Ah, Mother, oh, nature, I bet you can't wait for us to leave. Plastic in your blood, dust in your lungs, glaciers cry your tears. Ah, Mother, oh nature, will use you till you're black and blue. Ah, Mother, oh nature, what did we ever do for you? Dams all broke, the seas all rose. It was time to make our peace, but the olive branches didn't grow, and the last big man has no more steps to roam. Only took 200 years to burn down our only home, and maybe we were distracted by modern advances. We ignored the warning signs and missed all our chances. Oh, Mother, oh nature, bet you can't wait for us to leave. Plastic in your blood, dust in your lungs, glaciers cry your tears. Oh, Mother, oh nature, will use you till you're black and blue. Oh, Mother, oh nature, what did we ever do for you? Thank you.
Amazing. Heather McLarney, Do For You, right here on WECS, something different. I loved it. I love that one.
I love it too.
It's so cool. We're going to be right back. So stay tuned with Heather McLarney, and we'll be back right after this message.
Support comes from Eastern Connecticut State University. Join a vibrant community, engage in real-world experiences, and ignite your passion for learning. Your journey begins here. Apply today at easternct.edu.
Hi, this is Paul and Diane with Acousticool, one-of-a-kind live music in Bristol, Connecticut.
And you're listening to Something Different with Mark E. Ramone.
90.1 WECS, something different. Heather McLarney is in the house.
I'm in the house.
I need an applause button. All these buttons in front of me, and none of them will give me an applause.
I'm sure everyone just applauded back at home listening.
I think so.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier about Hartford. Lovely Hartford. I've spent many years in Hartford. What brought you to Hartford? Where were you from originally?
I'm from West Hartford originally, born and bred. My parents still live there in the same house I grew up in.
Oh, so it wasn't like a big migration.
Not a big
Okay.
migration.
Okay.
Although I have lived pretty much all over the world. I've traveled all over the world. Grew up in West Hartford, went to school in upstate New York for engineering, actually. Nothing musical, although I did music in high school. And then I went to the Air Force right after college. So that, I traveled all over the world for that. And came back to West Hartford, worked for Pratt & Whitney, in aerospace, my other life. And then I actually lived in Europe, in Germany for 7 years. And then I moved to Hartford.
Wow.
So kind of a roundabout way from West Hartford to Hartford. Yeah.
I'm glad to have you back in the area.
Glad to be back. It's a great music scene.
It really is. And we've touched on this all the time, talking about the New Music Alliance. We're supporting local artists, and the corridor, the Valley corridor, pretty much from New Haven all the way up to Brattleboro. It's so many great spots in Hartford and Springfield and Northampton. There's plenty of great music venues in the area.
Yeah. I'm actually trying to right now. You asked me before the show about my goals. I'm really just trying to play this album out in many places as possible. I'm trying to get, I've been playing in the Hartford area for the last 5 years. I'm trying to get out to Massachusetts, Northampton, Vermont. I've been playing down by the shore, New Haven, Bridgeport, Hamden. I'd love to go to Rhode Island. I mean, I really like to kind of branch out and just expand my audience as much as possible.
Have guitar will travel.
Yes, have guitar will travel. I'll play anywhere, for anyone.
Awesome.
So, yeah. No, the area is great for live music and local music. One of the reasons I moved back from Germany, a lot of reasons, but one of them was to be able to actually explore, doing music and performing live and having a really good musical community, which isn't so hard it's kind of hard to find over in Europe, honestly. So I came back here and things just took off right away, and I've been enjoying it ever since. Great people.
Awesome. You mentioned also about Hartford. I've heard a lot about Parkville. Do you play over there too?
I have played there. Actually, I haven't performed there as a gig, but I did have my first album release party there.
Oh, cool.
So I rented out, their whole kind of event space. We had our own bar. We had a stage set up at one end of the room. I think I had 120 people there or something like that.
Wow.
So yeah, I was really feeling the love from all my friends and family and fans. And it's a great spot. They were so nice, and they just really catered to whatever we wanted to have for the party. We had a signature cocktail. Oh. They gave us great bartender. I mean, it's a great place to play and also to eat. And I'm so glad we have that kind of open market, in Hartford.
Yeah.
It's great for the city.
All right, we're going to take a brief break and be right back with Heather McLarney. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Paul and Diane with Acousticool, one-of-a-kind live music in Bristol, Connecticut.
And you're listening to Something Different with Mark E. Ramone.
But it's cool, and we're cool, and everything's cool.
90.1 WECS, Something Different. Back with Heather McLarney here at 90.1. You started off as a songwriter, and took a while before you started performing and doing the singing as well. What led to your transition?
Yeah, that's a great question. I honestly, it really was the people I met, living downtown in Hartford. I honestly never had the confidence. I used to go to open mics. I lived in West Hartford in my 20s. I used to go to Sully's open mic, if you remember that, great spot. And I would watch all my friends perform, and I had the songs, I'd written the songs, and I'd kind of played guitar a little bit, but I just didn't have the confidence to get up there and get on a stage. It wasn't until I was in my 40s, and I moved downtown from Germany, and I met some other local musicians, the professors of sweet, sweet music. I always talk about as being my champions. They just kind of got me up on stage. Me and my friend Meg Coos, we formed a duo called Capital Blondes.
Yep.
And we'd get up and just do like cover songs, and we had a blast. And then, gradually I said, hey, I have some original songs, and I started playing those. And then, I don't know, the confidence started to build. And I can't say enough times, like the music community, and even like, the people that go out to watch local music in this area. I mean, they're so welcoming and so supportive. That was really what pushed me kind of across the line to perform.
Cool. When you were writing before, were you writing for other people and giving them the songs, or were you just holding on to the songs?
No, I was writing I was writing songs since I was, in college, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, they went right into like a box or a file somewhere in a drawer, really. I think I did one show in college. We called it In a Mellow Groove. Oh my gosh. But I didn't play any originals. Maybe one, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. But no, I kind of like didn't really showcase my original music until about 5 or 6 years ago.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Me too.
Let's hear another one of your songs.
Okay, so
Is this off the new album?
the first one I played, Do For You, is off the new album. I think I'm going to play one from the first album, if that's okay.
It's okay.
Okay. So this one is called Flying High, and it was my first single. Never thought I would ever record anything in my life, but I did a song contest with 2 friends of mine, Rob Alarcon, who's the lead singer for Sunday Vinyl, and he's also in a band called Solo, and Jeremy Haddad, who is in Possum and also does his solo stuff too. The 3 of us had many drinks at Arch Street Tavern one day, and decided to write a song, and we had to use one lyric, the same lyric. And the lyric was, I want to make out with you even when I'm sober.
I love that. So awesome.
So we all wrote songs and then went to our friend Rob Gary's house, and then he was the judge. I didn't win the contest, but this song came out of it, and it became my first single. So it's called Flying High. Pick me up when I'm down. I'm flying high all over this town. Been around the world, never found that treasure. Don't have ex-lovers, only ex-livers. Keep it going, keep it moving on to the last. You can't catch me, I move too fast. I'm either sinking deep or jumping through the clouds. I'm either blinking sweet or screaming out loud. I'm either off my feet, I'm running 100 miles an hour. Don't try to stand with me, I'm flying high all over this town. Oh, 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 oh. Another bar spills out, I'm hunched up in the cold. My breath follows me around like a ghost. I turn the corner, I see you step into the light. My ghost stood still and disappeared into the night. I'm either sinking deep or jumping through the clouds. I'm either blinking sweet or screaming out loud. I'm either high stand with me. I'm flying high all over this town. Oh, 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 oh. I wanna stay young for you even when I'm older. I wanna make out with you even when I'm sober. I'm either sinking deep or jumping through the clouds. I'm either blinking sweet or screaming out loud. I'm either off my feet, I'm running 100 miles an hour. Don't try to stand with me. I'm flying high. I'm flying high. I'm flying high. I'm flying high. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Pick me up when I'm down.
Oh man, that is such an amazing song, and that's the song you did on the New Music Alliance Radio Hour. And wow, it's so much more special live in person, right in front of me,
Oh, thank you.
a few feet in front of me. Oh, Heather McLarney, folks, stay tuned. We'll be right back with more from Heather.
Hi, this is Paul and Diane with Acousticool, one-of-a-kind live music in Bristol, Connecticut.
And you're listening to Something Different with Mark E. Ramone.
But it's cool, and we're cool, and everything's cool.
It's so cool. It's cool, baby. It's cool. And yeah, Acousticool in Bristol. They're doing shows again. And you can look them up on acousticool.net, I believe. Ever do any house concerts, Heather McLarney?
Not yet, but I'm open, and acoustic cool. Yeah, call me, guys.
It's
I'd
really
love
cool.
to play at your venue.
Right in Bristol, just in this nice little cul-de-sac neighborhood. It's beautiful
I need
backdrop.
to go check it out.
Yeah. How do people get in touch with you if they want to say, hey, I want to hire you for my bar mitzvah or something?
I am on all the socials at Heather McLarney Music. I have a website, heathermclarney.com. You can email me there. And yeah, I'm on Instagram, on Spotify, all the things. Heather McLarney Music is the handle.
Cool. I'm going to go back to that last song,
Okay.
Flying High, because I feel high after listening. No, it's just so well done. And
Thank you.
I remember I was really impressed when you played it on the New Music Alliance for us. Well produced. It was the album version, of course, and well produced and had like. Did you layer your vocals for like the background vocals? And
Yeah, absolutely. I am very fortunate to work with Asher Condit from Kingship Recording as my producer for that one, and also for the first album and the second album. He did both. He's from Avon and now currently resides in Nashville, has a studio down there. Yes, we did all the things. I had never recorded before. I didn't know, all the tools and the tricks and the cool effects you can do. And that album, Ghosts and Shadows, we definitely wanted to use more of like the poppy kind of effects in there. So we not only did like, vocal layering and things like that, but we also kind of added, little effects and samples and cool things like that. It was a really fun process.
I love the live version, but it's so cool to kind of see the difference when you go through all that effort to produce it
Absolutely.
as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like a great pop hit as well.
I think so.
And I think the lyrics are amazing. I don't have ex-lovers, just ex-whatevers.
Ex-whatevers, I know.
It
It's so
brings
true
so
for
much
me.
to mind. It sounds kind of devoid of
Not a
meaningful.
relationship person.
Yeah, some people aren't. Yeah,
Yeah, just never was like my thing. I'm working on it though. We'll see. But yeah, that song's about anxiety. At that time when I wrote it, I was having a lot of anxiety, really kind of like hitting me hard for the first time. Or I guess like I kind of recognized it as anxiety when I probably had it before, but didn't have a name for it. And now that mental health is so, it's just kind of accepted to talk about, and there's a lot more support there. It's more of like the conversation. It's more in the conversation.
It's not as much of a stigma as it used to
Exactly.
be, which is
Yeah.
a good thing.
So, so I wrote that about, kind of like the ups and downs of anxiety, and I wanted to portray like the lows and the highs. So that's why in the chorus you have like, I'm either sinking deep or jumping through the clouds. I'm either blinking sweet or screaming out loud. So I wanted like that, the highs and lows, like that, the two extremes to kind of come through in the song, as well as telling a little story.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
I love the lyrics.
Thank you.
I know you mentioned before you enjoy collaborating with other artists. I think I challenged you on the New Music Alliance
You
to
did.
go out, didn't I?
I forgot about that challenge.
So you haven't collaborated?
No.
All right, it's
Thanks for
it's
reminding
your
me.
summer challenge to
Okay.
go out and collaborate with somebody you didn't expect you would ever collaborate with.
Yes, I really want to do more collaborations, and a lot of artists are doing that these days.
That's good.
A lot of more mainstream artists. I would love to do it. When I was down in Nashville, I actually did a co-write with a songwriter from LA and Nashville. Her name is Sam Seasoned, and she was fantastic, so talented. So we actually co-wrote my song "Line of Sight" together. That's
Oh.
on the second album.
Wow.
But I'd love to do like some vocal collabs. I of course sang with Jeremy Haddad in the first album for the song "The Travelers." But yeah, I'd really love to kind of rip off some singles, just singing with some friends, and let's make some music and record it.
It's a fun experience, isn't it? You get to bond with somebody on that level.
It's actually, to me, it's really vulnerable. So when I went in to go work with a songwriter, I was like nervous. I have this song that I kind of started, and I'm thinking like, you're always afraid, like, is the other person going to take over? Is your voice going to not be heard as much? That's what I was worried about. But it's honestly it was so collaborative. It was so like a back and forth, a really like an exchange of ideas. It was a really cool process. I'd like to explore that more. Yeah.
Cool. Can we get another song from you?
So I was actually going to play my rubber bridge guitar and switch guitars, if that's okay.
Yeah.
If we can do that. Okay.
Absolutely.
So I bought a rubber bridge guitar, which I didn't even know existed until I went down to Nashville. A lot of singer-songwriters are using it.
Just the other guitar.
This is the
right?
other guitar
Yeah.
behind me. Yeah.
Is it actually a rubber bridge?
Yes. So we used a rubber bridge on my song "All of These Days" on the second album, and it was actually an old guitar. I think from, I don't know, my producers. I wish he was talking in my ear right now. I want to say it's like 50 or 60 plus years old.
Wow.
Vintage guitar that this store called Jack's Guitarcheology in Lebanon, Tennessee. They take old guitars and they put a rubber bridge in there. For some of them, they refurbish guitars, but for some they put in a rubber bridge, which is basically taking a piece of rubber and putting it like right after the, I don't know a lot about guitars, but it basically mutes the sound and has a really cool sound coming out.
Interesting.
So yeah, and so for the song "All of These Days," we actually used an old vintage guitar. It was a baritone guitar, and it was a rubber bridge, and it had this like really like deep, soulful, kind of like vibrating, really cool sound. So that's what is on there. So I bought one down there, and I brought it here, and I thought I'd try to play it
Yeah.
if we can.
I would love to hear. I just love the sound rubber bridge. It just
Switcheroo.
sounds like an interesting pairing. Rubber bridge. Imagine walking on a rubber bridge. I bet that would be fun. A rubber bridge. So you spent. It seems like you spent a lot of time in Nashville, which I'm jealous. I almost went down.
I actually went down there for, as I said, my producer moved from Avon to Nashville. So of course, I never thought about going to Nashville in my life. But of course he moved down there. So I'm like, well, second album, I'm coming down, getting the songs ready. So I got, 10 songs ready. We picked 8 out of the 10. And I went down there for 5 weeks. And basically over a 4-week period, Monday through Friday, all day.
Wow.
Don't tell my boss. We recorded the whole
And
album.
they thought you had COVID.
Yeah. I was taking some vacation, but I have to admit I had my laptop propped open in the studio for some of those days. And we recorded the whole album in 4 weeks, which was an experience in itself. I tell people it was like going to therapy, like intensive therapy, because you have all these songs that you wrote that are kind of vulnerable and you're putting your heart out there, and then you're like listening to them over and over in the studio and singing them over and over. And they're really like, it's intense. So I'm going to do a little tune here.
You're listening to 90.1 WECS, something different. Stay tuned. Coming up in 20 minutes at the top of the hour, we've got the New Music Alliance Radio Hour. This edition features Mistress Miriam doing the playlist, and she'll be joined by yours truly, Marky Ramone. She's got an amazing playlist. She picked some. She's been trying to focus more on Connecticut artists lately, so you'll pick out a few from this episode, and maybe Heather will listen on the way home, and hopefully you'll listen at 4:00 right here at 90.1 WECS. There was a big revelation. There's an artist from Sturbridge, Mass, who has a famous spouse. You're not going to believe it when you find out that this famous person's spouse is from Sturbridge, Massachusetts.
Sounds intriguing.
It is. So stay tuned at 4:00 and listen to the New Music Alliance Radio Hour. You ready?
Yep.
All right.
All right. So this is you can hear the sound on this one.
It's so soft.
It is.
Or are you just playing this
hopefully you
soft?
can catch it. It's soft. It's like this little bridge muffles the sound.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. Nothing else is different? All the frets are... I thought you, for some reason, I thought you said the frets were rubber. I don't know.
It's going to be a little out of tune, but that's okay. We're going to go with it. This one's called All of These Days. Learn from my father, you could drive away, never look back. Turned 18, kissed his mama on the cheek, said I got dreams, gonna get out of this town. You can tell Pop if you see him around. Learned from my mother, you could hide your pain inside of a laugh. 3 kids in the yard, it must have been hard. Find you sitting in the dark, feel like you lost yourself. Come on, smile, we'll always need your help. And all of these days and all of these years, and all of these times we're holding back the tears, holding back the tears. From my brothers, you could stand as tall as you want. We're the guys to be on the varsity, so much cooler than me. Turn to you for confidence. Thanks for being my first best friend. Learned from my sisters, you could make any place a home.
Came across the China Sea, showing versions of a family. Old soul, but you're younger than me. I found we're not blood, but we're surely bound. And all of these days and all of these years, and all of these times we're holding back the tears. Holding back the tears. Sit around the table telling the same old stories a million times. Are you crying? No, I'm laughing. Okay. Feel this current flow between us, up and down the family lines. I'll stag it in my veins and let it fold against my own revelations. It's a card to play, it's a shortcut, it's a whisper for the next generation. Learn from my grandma, the higher I reach, the more I made you proud. I learned from my grandpa, love doesn't need to be loud. And all of these days and all of these years, and all of these times we're holding back the tears. Holding back the tears. Holding back the tears. Holding back the tears.
Oh man, that is beautiful, beautiful.
So much.
I've been listening to that all week. Your new album, and I keep messing up on the the title. It's like I'm coming up with "In Through the Outdoor" or something like Led Zeppelin or
interesting.
song.
Maybe that'll be my third album title.
There to be found.
There to be found.
And isn't it? It's there to be found by you listening out there. When you want to find some great music, some live local music, go find Heather McLarney. She'll be performing in the Sunbury Cafe on May 29th in Hartford. And keep an eye on her webpage, and hopefully you'll catch her later on this summer as well.
Absolutely.
As she's on this world tour of the new album. Get through this. Well, no, wait. Why do I keep messing this up?
There to be found.
There to be found.
If we have time for our fourth song, it's actually the title of the album is from the next song I was going to play.
Oh, okay. Yep. I know
So
what
we
song
can
you're talking
kinda
about.
Skedaddle right into that if you want.
All right. We'll be right back with another song from Heather McLarney right after these messages.
Hi, this is Paul and Diane with Acousticool, one-of-a-kind live music in Bristol, Connecticut.
And you're listening to Something Different with Mark E. Ramone.
But it's cool, and we're cool, everything's cool.
Everything is cool here at 90.1 WECS, something different, because we have Heather McLarney in the studio. Everything's on, the camera's on, the audio's recording, and we've got some great live music here from Heather McLarney.
Hello again.
Hello again.
Thanks for having me. This is really cool. This is so great.
I like it here. It's pretty cool.
It's really like peaceful and cozy. And there's no students walking around, I guess, because they all, are done for the semester. So
It is a ghost
we're the
town.
only ones in the building.
Every once in a while, you see one of the neighbors walking by with a dog or something.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you another question. That question is, you mentioned about writing about some dreams. Do you have? Is it easy for you to recall dreams after you wake up?
I mean, I think it's like for everyone. You know, some days you do, some days you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a dream journal and write them all in there.
Oh wow,
all the crazy ones.
that's a good way to capture it.
Yeah, I wish I still did. Yeah, it's kind of funny to go and read back to 20 years ago. What you were dreaming about.
What was I talking about?
Yeah.
Or, do you have one of those dream catchers above your bed to help you?
No, I know. Maybe I should.
Let's hear one more song. It's from the new album, right?
Yes. So this next one is called The Moon.
Yes.
It's from the new album. And speaking of writing in journals, it's actually from, okay, so I was rummaging around while I was songwriting back last year in the spring. I gave myself 5 months to write for the album.
Wow.
And a lot of the songs were, I guess a few of the songs were actually songs I wrote, 20 years ago or so. The Moon is actually a poem I wrote. I think I was maybe a teenager. And I found it in a stack of old papers, with all my old diaries and journals and things like that, and my dream journal. And I came across it and I was like, oh my gosh, just the memory of writing it, was there. And I even think I had a melody when I wrote it in my head. So I kind of resurrected this old poem. And of course, for a songwriter, if you can find something to make a song out of and do fairly little work towards it, that's a win, right?
Yeah.
So I had the melody already, put the chords to it. And then I was driving around and I was like, I feel like I need to add a third verse to kind of modernize it. So I added the third verse, which you'll hear. And it's called The Moon. And then the title of my album is a lyric in the song, There to Be Found.
There to be found.
Oop. You'll notice the acoustic version is a little different from the album version. A little bit.
Out your window, late at night, you see a white shape shining bright. Sometimes it's crescent, sometimes it's new, but it's always there, shining for you. If you search the sky, look up and down, when the stars go out, feel content knowing the moon is there to be found. Now I grow up sometime from now, the stars say I'm gonna find them. Now I'll watch them from my room, circling round me, their patterns move. Move. If you search the sky, look up and down, when the stars go out, feel content knowing the moon is there to be found. Now I'm looking out different windows, and I'm driving through different towns, and I'm sitting in my worries, always stressed about what's around. I'm not caring about myself enough, out of phase with all my needs, and I'm staring at the sun too much, and she's glaring back at me. Oh, oh, look up and down. When the stars go out, feel content knowing the moon is there to be found. Is there to be found. Is there to be found. Yeah.
Heather McLarney, The Moon, right here. 90.1 WECS. Something different. Hey, want to play a quick game?
Definitely.
All right, we got to play a quick game because we're running out of time. We've got the new Music Alliance Radio Hour coming up in just a bit. It's called Lyrical Ponderings. I'm going to give you a song title.
Okay.
The song title is in the form of a question. You can either answer the question or tell me who wrote the song or sang the song.
Okay.
All right. Pick a number between 1 and 201.
3.
Thank you. Oh, somebody else got that.
33.
Perfect. Larry Bird fan. No.
No.
Give me another number. Quick.
99.
99.
You can see what my favorite number is.
Everybody. It's the square root of 9?
Anything multiple of 3.
Charlie Diamond picked 99. I'm just going to give you a random.
Just give me a random. Yeah.
What have you done for me lately?
What have you done for me lately? That sounds like do for you. What have we done for you lately, Mother Nature? What are the rules again?
If you don't know who sang it, just answer the question.
Fleetwood Mac? Stevie Nicks?
No.
No? Okay. I don't know.
So now you're going to answer the question. What have you? That was Janet Jackson.
Okay.
1986.
Okay. Not familiar. I mean, of course I'm familiar with Janet Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Not the song, though.
Oh, Heather, that's okay. Nobody gets this.
Sorry. It's like the
10%. 10% at most. Thank you for coming down and thank you for performing for us. And best wishes on your new album, There to Be Found. It's there. It's out there for people to find it on the internet. Spotify. I've seen it. I've seen it on YouTube.
All the things.
All the things. You know where you get music.
I
You
have
know where you
CDs.
prefer. And she's got
To
CDs.
hold in your hand.
Yeah. It's awesome. So the what was it? Bayberry something strawberry in Hartford.
I'll be at Sunbury, which is a very cute cafe down in downtown Hartford, Pratt Street, on May 29th from 6 to 9. And then I have a bunch of shows lined up for the summer. Stay tuned. I'll be out and about.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. The new Music Alliance Radio Hour is coming up. Thank you, Heather.
Thanks for having me.
And wow. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.